Well, here's a good car tire story gone bad. More than 50 years ago, Florida dumped millions of tires into the ocean. They thought they were going to build a reef, right? Sounds like a good idea. The fish will live in them. The coral will grow around the tires. For a long time, they've sunk old battleships and big ships in the ocean, take all the diesel and everything out, sink them, and then the fish live in them and stuff. But there's a big difference between a big old ship made out of steel and a bunch of individual tires. They threw all these millions of tires in, and what happened? Well, it was Florida. Guess what? Storms come, hurricanes come, storm surges. The tires got ripped apart, thrown all over the place. And of course, they started to destroy other coral reefs that they landed on and broke apart. They put it in an area where they were already destroyed, and they didn't build them up there. But since they started coming apart, they ended up everywhere. They have estimated that more than 500,000 of them are now stuck in the sand and beaches. And now they got to do something about it. Now, great idea. Start out with, hey, let's put all these tires. We can get rid of millions of tires because it's always tires. We create so many tires, cars wearing them out, make your head spin. So we can get rid of the tires and help fish at the same time. It was called the Osborne Tire Reef. Now, since they put it in 50 years ago, this thing has drifted all over the place. They had them tied together somehow, but of course that came apart and they started going everywhere. Strong currents scattered them in the seafloor and turned into an environmental disaster. More than 50 years later, Florida is trying to remove the tires and fix the ecological harm that they did. And of course, this costs money. Let's realize all this stuff always costs money. They say that completing the system to put it back the way it was is going to take 14 fiscal years starting in July 2024 at an annual cost of over $10 million a year. And they think the whole thing's going to cost probably $140 million. We all know that means it's going to cost a lot more, right? Like common sense, that's what always happens. It costs more than what they say. So, it was a great idea to begin with, but that's where people have to realize the ramifications of something that they think is going to be good. Not just go, let's try this and see what happens, right? They should have studied the ocean currents and said, hey, this is going to move. Because, like I said, there's a big difference between a big old battleship sunk in the ocean where there it is, heavy steel parts, right? Look at the Titanic. It's still broken the bottom of the ocean, right? Fish are living in it and stuff. But it's not a bunch of little tires loosely tied together that are going to come apart and create a gigantic mess that's now going to cost a small fortune to clean up. Now, here's one that you really couldn't believe until you see what actually happened. 2 Mercedes-Benz AMG car owners have filed class action suits against Mercedes because they're saying they're getting burned by the logos on the seat. Now, I gotta say, it's pretty stupid on Mercedes' behalf. The AMG, of course, are their fancy Mercedes. AMG, the ones that cost a small fortune, $150,000, $250,000, super expensive cars, right? Well, for some bizarre reason, on a driver's seat, right about where your neck and your shoulder is, they have an AMG logo, right? But it's made out of metal. The sun hits it and then gets hot. And hence, people got burnt. Gabriel and Karen Deep, 2 people, alleged that the front seats of certain Mercedes AMG vehicles had a design defect where the raised metallic AMG logo is, quote, reasonably expected to contact an occupant's upper back, neck, or shoulder. Now, you can't make this stuff up, right? And the one person has a 2026 Mercedes AMG E-Class in, of course, La La Land. Where else is this going to happen, right? Went in his vehicle wearing just a tank top. And then later, a board-certified dermatologist documented first and second degree burns, which he described as AMG inscribed. It said AMG because it burnt the AMG. He had been branded like the old cattle in the West, right? He is now an AMG owner. Maybe they want to brand their own owners so they can make sure you really own one of these. Oh, yeah, you got the brand, right? And then 6 weeks later, another California resident got the same thing again in Los Angeles. They said that she entered the driver's seat, her shoulder touched the logo and burnt in the back, and they have a mark in the shape of the AMG logo. All right? You can't make this up. What kind of a moronic company would put a metallic logo where people are sitting? You know, if they wanted to, have the logo on the back of the seat, right? Nobody sits on the back of the seat, so the driver's there. Instead of sitting on this thing, it would be on the back, and the back passengers would see the AMG, right? But no, they decided to put it on the seat. Why they put it directly on the front surface of the seat back is beyond me. I guess they wanted people to look in the car. Oh, look, it's an AMG. I mean, they got AMGs all over the place on the front and back anyways, right? But they got to have it on the inside, too, yeah? They should put it on the inside of the door, maybe, or something. Not on the seat where you sit on it. You know, branded AMG. You can't make this stuff up. It is just total insanity that they would even make something like this. Now, here's some interesting energy news. 97.9% efficiency, 1,000 plus cycles, sodium-based batteries. Now, one of the big problems with lithium power plants, the lithium-ion power plants, that keeps them from melting down is they have to have tons of power put back into the air conditioning units to keep them from overheating, right? But now there is sodium chromium oxide battery technology, and they're targeting 1 gigawatt hour of deployments in 2027, next year. Now, they're also trying sodium-ion batteries in cars, but the problem is the amount of power they have, the weight that they have, they're a little bit heavier. But this is for commercialization of energy storing for wind turbines, solar panels, right? Instead of wasting all this energy on cooling these battery systems down, these don't, right? They've been using lithium-ion batteries for a long time, since the 1990s, right? But the problem is, they have to be cooled down because they get too hot when they get charged up, when they discharge. And a lot of that energy is wasted either air conditioning them with air conditioning units or using water to cool them down. Well, the sodium batteries don't need that. They found out that when they tested, the company's called Unigrid's, 210 ampere hour cells, they had what's called endothermic behavior when they were being charged. The chemical reaction actually absorbs heat rather than dumping it out into the environment. So, they're much more efficient. And when you combine that with a 97.9% cell-level round-trip energy efficiency and thermal stability, the battery stays cool on its own. It does not need a cooling system, right? That round-trip efficiency is 97.9%. That's a lot. To give you an example, the lithium-ion cells operate at about 94% efficiency. You might think that's only little when you're dealing with immense amounts, gigawatts of power. That's a lot of energy that's wasted. You know, that 3.5%, 4%, that's a lot of energy. Now, they've been testing these things out, and they found that they have exceptional stability even under extreme conditions of extreme heat or extreme cold. And of course, there's less extreme heat and less cold in these energy storage systems than in a vehicle, because the vehicle's outside. If it's cold outside, the vehicle's sitting outside, it's cold. If it's hot, it gets hot. These are inside buildings, right? So the idea that if this thing actually doesn't give off hardly any heat at all, it's going to cost a lot less to keep the buildings stable environmentally. Instead of all this extra heat's added with the heat from outside, it becomes more stable on its own. So, hey, the sodium battery technology, it looks like it's, coming along. Maybe one day they'll make it for cars where it has enough energy, it doesn't weigh too much. They're working on it. The Chinese say that they're starting to mass produce them for cars now, and soon they're going to have a bunch of them out. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll fail. Who knows? But Like I always say, especially when it comes to cars, wait till the technology has been out a while before you invest your hard-earned dollar in it and find out that, oh, that technology failed. Well, and of course, certainly don't invest your hard-earned money into buying stocks in these companies, because that's a gigantic gamble. And most of those new technology companies, if you look at the past record, go bankrupt and your money goes down the toilet with them. Well, that's it for today's breaking news. Remember, you can only see breaking news on the Scotty Kilmer channel on YouTube, so subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can become wise about the automotive world that we live in.